I know that.
This next video
Paul's
is
an Islamophobe. That's true.
Feminism Did Not Destroy Atheism. That's the name of this.
This is by ContraPoints. And I thought it might be interesting since me and Paul were both around in this era that he's kind of talking about.
I actually saw this video. I like this. I don't agree with all of the conclusions, but I like this person.
Okay.
ContraPoints.
ContraPoints.
When I first went on YouTube around 10 years ago, it was a place where intelligent and educated skeptics,
Gravity!
free thinkers,
Gravity!
My cock!
and
Huh,
radical
Captain Awesome.
Oh, my cock was there.
Yep.
My cock.
Looking all over for Jesus.
There's our
come together
buddy.
to
There's
berate
us.
hucksters and idiots. Sadly, this golden age has ended, and according to Thunderfoot, the atheist community's self-appointed leader and champion, it's all the
Whoa.
fault of a bunch
I don't know
of
when he did
uppity
that.
women, black people,
Hold on, that was us.
Yeah. Best part of the video right there.
Yeah, dude.
Go back. Yeah, there we are.
it's all
Yeah.
the fault of a bunch of
Woo! We were in a ContraPoints video. We made it.
uppity
made it,
women,
guys.
Black people and queers who
Black
came along
people.
and ruined everything by demanding that we respect their feelings.
Yeah.
Is that what they
This is
demanded?
wrong. Let's talk about
That's
why.
wrong. Yeah, that is wrong. Your synopsis of what happened just now is wrong. Yes.
Is incorrect.
Looked in the grass. I've looked in the bush. I'm not finding Jesus anywhere.
For viewers
Brett.
who are new around here, I'll provide a little backstory. The new atheist movement began with
Okay.
the publication of The End of Faith in 2004. The movement was centered
That's
around
debatable.
Yeah, I don't know if you can actually just pinpoint exactly when the new atheist movement began.
I mean, that's around when I'd say it started.
Sure, but I don't know if that
The
book is what
publication of
launched
the
it.
yeah, that's right. That's I think the point of contention.
white men, each of whom once had something interesting to say, and one of whom once invited me back to his hotel room for a cup of coffee before he The
Whoa.
YouTube branch of the movement was mainly a bunch of nerdy, socially awkward white men.
Ha!
I am not
Oh,
nerdy.
shit.
I am not socially awkward, and I am not white, and I am not a man. How dare you
What?
assume my fucking gender? How dare you assume my fucking race? How dare you assume my nerd status? And how dare you assume that other adjective you
your
use?
humble
Socially
man.
awkward.
Socially
Our
awkward.
intellects and libidos flourished in the new digital medium. YouTube was a venue for isolated people to
There's
connect
Gary.
with each other, carrying
Gary.
on discussions and
Gary!
Is this Stickam?
Yes.
Yeah.
I miss Stickum.
Stick 'em.
Long gone.
Stick 'em up.
Yeah, who do I recognize here?
I recognize Gary. I recognize, oh my god,
Yeah,
it's
it's
Chris.
Chris.
And
Those
I
are the only two
I
I-
recognize no other person.
complaining about things that we couldn't complain about elsewhere.
Gary.
I'm so sick of this fucking idiotic conversation. Why do you compare it to a Say a kid with cancer is the only one. Go ahead and say it, you fucking idiot.
Since
Yeah.
Those were
Yeah.
the fucking days, man.
Those were the days.
Those were the fucking days, fellas.
Gary is still like that. There's
yeah, he is.
There's no change for him.
central figures have stopped making videos or have moved on to other subjects.
Whoa.
Oh,
That's a, yeah. Chris.
Chris is getting punished
Yeah.
tonight.
I don't
He
want
is,
to. I don't
dude.
want to hit on Chris's lady, but goddamn,
So what happened?
It looks like she's
How
gonna
come
hit on
new
you,
atheism
Paul.
has faded away?
I'd be fine with that.
Now I want you to keep in mind that I'm an aging pseudo-intellectual twink with an alcohol problem, and I'm not claiming to be smarter than Thunderfoot. But sometimes the simplest answer is the best.
Right.
New atheism was a trend, and like all trends, it died out. As a topic of discussion,
Now it's just
atheism
old
is inherently
atheism.
limited. There are only so many different ways you can say that God does not exist.
I kind of agree with this shit, dude.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't disagree with this conclusion here that it was just kind of that's what was popular for a few years.
Well, in
and
that time period, I mean, so the fucking theists got schooled so bad, so many ways.
Yep.
Just like it got to a point where it's like, well, they've already been schooled. No one else really knew it was coming up because all these people who even try are just being destroyed instantly.
I don't like the characterization of like the old YouTube atheist community as just being full of people going like my dick and this and that. Like, yeah, that was there, that was present, but that certainly wasn't everything that was going on.
That was the Captain Awesome video to fake Sagan.
Yeah, that wasn't even a video that had anything to do with atheism. That was just some fucking petty pawnage
that was drama.
bullshit.
That was some drama.
Yeah.
That
That was
happened.
drama shit.
that was a big part of the atheist community though back then.
Sure, it was-
dude. Interpersonal drama and shit was
Atheist
a
scum
big
united.
thing.
I understand, but I'm saying like that wasn't all there was,
No,
and that's
that's
all
true.
that's being presented here is just like the oh look, someone farted and someone showed us someone's dick and someone yelled at someone
Of
for being
course, I
dumb.
mean, that's the message and narrative this video is pushing.
Of
so
course, that's what
it's
I'm. So I'm just saying like that's not accurate. It's not fully accurate. It's like one little tiny piece of the puzzle.
I think when it comes down to it, people just got bored.
Sure.
Meanwhile, new social movements have arrived, drawing attention to a different set of problems. Some YouTubers have adapted to the new moral climate, while others have doubled down on fear and hatred.
What? Shut up.
Okay, that's not biased at all.
Thunderfoot has doubled down on fear and hatred.
Yeah.
Fear and hatred.
Yep.
And from his fortress of solitude.
You know, this
From
person-
his lair in an active volcano, Thunderfoot sits
doubling
upon his
down
throne
on
of human
fear and
skulls.
hatred.
this person that I like adapted and got better. This person I hate.
He's a hate monger.
It's like, what?
He's bad.
Yeah, it's not having a different point of view. It's basically, I just love fear and hatred.
good. Thunderfoot bad.
We'll also have to remember Thunderfoot, by this implication too, is just totally unsympathetic to anything in the social justice movement. He doesn't believe in rights for anybody besides white males,
Yep.
clearly.
And he's the
Thunderfoot-
self-appointed king of atheism or
Yep.
whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
Thunderfoot's
I rem-
making the duck face.
Show me the moment when he did that self-declaration.
Darkness. I want to argue that the reactionary approach of Thunderfoot and others to feminism
How is it reactionary?
fucking shit. But first I want to clear something up.
Do
I
it.
am not a social justice warrior. I'm just an independent free-thinking skeptic who looks at the evidence and reaches my own conclusions. I actually think there's a lot of really bad stuff going on in social justice circles lately, from substituting
Lately?
weird alienating jargon for plain English, to celebrating activists' ugliest impulses, to crusading against trivial or nonsensical offenses, to single-mindedly focusing on some pet social justice issue at
Sure.
the expense of all nuance.
Yep.
But the truth is that you can find people behaving terribly within any movement. On both sides of this debate and every other, there will be those who act and think in petty, selfish, and small-minded ways. That's human nature, not feminism. The intellectually responsible thing to do is try to filter all the nonsense out, and address only the strongest arguments that each side has to offer.
Since when?
Yeah, one of
That's not how, that's never how anything has worked here on YouTube.
Nope.
No one's like, let's go after the strongest, most cogent arguments. That's not even what you're doing here. I mean, you're gonna say this shit after just like strawmanning some weak shit arguments that aren't even fucking the actual positions of the people you're claiming
what
to
people-
be fucking refuting.
What people tend to respond to are the things that people are actually talking about. That's what gets responded to, not necessarily the best idea. The ideas that people care about.
Yeah, not only that, but like I don't know about you guys, but like I like responding to the dumbest, stupidest shit out there.
Yeah, the one where the guy wanted to start a war with
Because
you.
that's the shit that's the most
That's
fucking
one of your best videos
fascinatingly
ever.
awful.
That's one of your best.
Why
videos
am I going to
ever.
go to someone who's making some sort of intelligent argument and be like, this is dog shit, and I'll tell you why? I mean, occasionally I'll do that, but mostly I want to go after people who are making terrible arguments because they're the ones that the most need to be refuted.
Night Vision fan.
Especially when retards are actually out there being like, yeah, that's a good point. No, it's not a good point. It's dog shit.
That's boring as hell, so fuck it.
Yeah, damn right. Fuck
Thunderfoot
that
and his
shit.
allies claim to be night.
His allies.
my
Dude, all of
allies.
these people are allies
You guys
of
are in a.
Thunderfoot,
You guys
dude.
are in a group together. All of you.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, I've never even talked to Teal Deer, so that's I don't know how
Yeah.
that's my ally.
Yeah, not an ally.
I've barely ever talked to Thunderfoot except for like the time he was on the show. Pretty much is it. With Carl, yeah, pretty much. I talked to him a few times. I guess I've had some conversations with him. Never talked to Milo outside
Yeah.
of him being on the show.
I don't think Milo wants to talk to us.
Never
either.
talked to Dave Rubin outside of him being on this show. So how are we this fucking cabal that sits around like, all right, guys, what's our next thing on our agenda? I know, we'll destroy
And I
these
mean-
fucking SJWs, man.
I don't know much about Teal Deer, but I know, like, I would say a lot of these guys are way further to the right than Thunderfoot and you.
Yeah, and I mean, like,
You know?
Thunderfoot and Sargon, they've been in shit lately. They're having highly publicized little feuding
Dude,
and
yeah,
shit.
so they're all. Oh, TG, you know what?
But
the
they're butt
cabal.
buddies.
Behind the scenes, they're fucking stroking each other's dicks.
They're
like,
butt
oh,
buddies.
Because you guys have at
so
times
smart.
covered similar topics. You are all part of the group.
The cabal.
Yeah.
The atheist community.
Objectivity, evidence, and difficult truths against a horde of oversensitive crybabies who take offense and retreat to their safe spaces at the slightest whiff of opposition. But
Yeah.
ironically, the thunder
Most
feet
of
of
them
the
do,
world
yes.
are often just
Thunder
as eager to take
feet?
offense.
You're one of the Thunder
I'm not a
feet.
fucking Thunderfeet, bitch.
You
Yeah,
are.
you're a Thunderfeet, dude.
You are.
I'm gonna come to your house and fucking kick you in whatever genitalia you,
You are
have
a
these
Thunder
days.
feet. You're a Thunder feet.
Thunderfeet.
You've got a Thunderfeet, TJ.
I'm just-
Feminist
Thunder
Rebecca
feet.
Watson begins one of her videos like this.
You can't even crop out the little YouTube play button and shit on the bottom.
Hello, YouTube. It's been a while. I've missed you, and I'm guessing that you've missed me too, because I've heard that if a male atheist
no one's
on
missed you
YouTube
ever.
goes too long without calling a woman a cunt, his balls will actually shrivel up and then tuck up inside of him, forming what
This
some
is great.
Thanks for reminding me. You're a cunt.
call a mangina.
I didn't. Shit.
Well, this is not the
Glad I
height
didn't
of
get that
comedy.
mangina
Take
thing.
a look at how Thunderfoot responds.
It's not even the depth of
And that was
comedy.
it. That's how the face of feminism in atheism thinks it's the best way to start a charity fundraiser, using this passive-aggressive victim routine to spit poison at the entire male atheist audience.
He's essentially
I see
crying
nothing
sexism.
wrong with that.
Jesus, Thunderfoot, can't you take a
well,
joke?
I mean, like, look, dude.
I mean, Thunderfoot's never been the guy, but I mean, Thunderfoot. If she was saying that about like Sargon saying something like that, maybe that would make some sense. But Thunderfoot's never really been the kind of guy who goes around trying to be like, I'm edgy and offensive all the time.
He doesn't call anybody cunt.
I mean, dude, whatever. It was a stupid joke, and it wasn't a funny joke, but it was clearly meant to be a joke. And getting all fucking hyper worked up over a joke isn't good when the people that agree with you
look,
do
you
it.
have to watch the whole you have to watch the whole context of fucking Thunderfoot's video, because who knows
Sure.
what context he even says this in.
Why are these
It might be part of a larger fucking case that he's making.
feminists so oversensitive? And this bit
Yeah.
of offense-taking is the
I'm
flimsy
offended.
beginning of a video with the absurdly overstated thesis that feminism poisons everything. This
Mm-hmm.
kind of exaggeration was sort of cute when Hitchens did it,
How's it a fucking exaggeration?
but it's certainly
Explain to me how either of those is an exaggeration.
How
God and feminism do both poison everything they fucking touch.
We've fucking covered so many stories on
Sorry.
the show, and so many things revolve around religion in our societies. In any society in the world, religion has played a fucking crucial role. I don't think Hitchens' book is in any way hyperbole or an exaggeration.
its charm. Really? Feminism poisons everything?
Yeah.
Did it poison my coffee?
How
Ha 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 ha
make such bad coffee?
Hey,
I love that commercial.
I
In another
heard
video,
that.
Thunderfoot complains that atheist conferences are filled with politically correct whiners.
They are.
No, actually, what Thunderfoot said is that people like this being invited to the conferences ensure that they're not filled with anybody.
Which they're
Because
not.
later on, he pans back and shows a basically empty room watching these fucking people. There's more people on the stage than there are in the fucking room. That was his point, is that this social justice shit drove people away from these atheist conferences in droves.
What's
it
the one
wasn't just, we're all bored with atheism all of a sudden. It was, hey, these conferences are becoming a climate of bullshit that no one wants to deal with anymore.
Dude, remember we actually went and looked at like the lineups and like the events that were going on for these skeptical conferences, and it was all just feminism shit.
these conferences, though, were painted as a big part of the movement when they had nothing to do with what he's talking about. The YouTube atheist movement was not built on the strength of a bunch of fucking conferences.
Yeah, but the
Those
point is that
those
these
came in-
conferences used to be fucking well attended, and then the whole
Right, when
Atheism
it was-
Plus thing happened, and then every fucking event at the conference was like,
was taken over
basically
by
a
that.
women's studies class, and then all of a sudden no one's showing up to them anymore. Go fucking figure.
Yeah.
What was the one in
All
D-
Thunderfoot did is point out,
What was
hey,
the one in DC?
the second you did this SJW shit, people stopped coming. Go
No.
ahead.
What was the name of the one in DC?
Reason Rally.
Reason
Yeah,
Rally.
Reason
the Reason
Rally.
Rally.
That was like they were showing like I think Steve Shives went, and it was like there was almost no one attending.
Yeah, he's on a lawn chair by himself.
Dude, it was like comparing like Obama's inauguration versus Trump. It was like
Reason Rally used to be
was
a
empty.
big. The first one they had was huge. Before the whole feminism thing happened, and I understand that some of it's just fatigue over the topic, but
Sure.
I think a lot of it has to do with, people who want to go to an atheist event. They want to go to an atheist event, not a feminist event with some atheist overtures.
Cisgender male, poly, and disabled. So I am I've got a lot of privilege on this panel.
Some of the issues.
I got a lot of privilege on this panel.
Like past marriage, definitely.
Oh, this is riveting, man. Why would no one want to see this conference? I don't
Yeah,
understand.
it's amazing.
I don't understand. It's so riveting.
And I'm gay.
why is this
Honestly,
white man
Thunderfoot-
on the stage?
I don't like listening to this shit any more than you do. I don't think anyone likes listening to it. Not even
That
a
was the
gay,
point of his
bisexual,
video.
polysexual wolfkin.
I
But
saw
not
the
all
video you pulled these clips from. That was the fucking point, is no one wants to listen to this shit. Oh my god.
anger is righteous, and some feelings are best kept to yourself. Your whole argument is that social justice warriors have ruined atheism by talking about gender issues, which you say you don't care about. Is that why you've made 54 videos about how much you fucking hate feminism? God Damn it, this is just not the behavior of a man who doesn't care about gender politics. Compare Thunderfoot's channel, which for the last couple years has been
But
mostly
why do you think he
about-
cares about it? Just for no reason. He's just talking about it for the fun of it. It's like, this really isn't a big deal. It's like, obviously it's something he's passionate about, and it's obviously having an effect on the community that he was a part of. That's why he's talking about it, because these conferences that he was referring to used to be about skepticism. It used to be like, hey, let's talk about atheism. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the things that are interesting to people in the skeptical community.
This is like saying
But now-
Thunderfoot is a creationist because he made a bunch of videos refuting creationism.
I mean,
doesn't make any sense.
I think that feminism did destroy atheism, but not the way he's implying that we think it did. I think it just most of the people that were talking about atheism moved on to talk about fucking feminism. Yeah, that's what people wanted to hear people talk about. I mean,
but the whole fascination with the feminism thing happened, or at least the transition happened when the feminists started complaining about, there's sexism at these atheist conferences. Like the first thing was really the Rebecca Watson
the coffee story,
coffee gate or elevator gate or whatever the fuck you want to call it. That was when the fucking tide started to turn and people started to take sides, and the community split and half of them went one way and half of them went the other. And then there was controversy about Thunderfoot on Paul. What's that guy's name?
Paul Joseph Watson.
No, not Paul Joseph Watson.
No.
What guy?
Whatever. The fucking fat fuck that everyone used to respect. PZ Myers.
Oh, yeah.
When, he went on PZ Myers' site, and he was there for like a week before PZ Myers kicked him off for being too controversial.
Was that like
and it's free
atheist
thought
blogs or something?
It was free
like that?
thought blogs or whatever.
Free thought blogs. Yep, you're right.
And it's like people are like, "How is this free thought if you're going to kick someone off for their opinions?" And he's like, "Well, he's evil and he's bad and he's a misogynist." And then all that shit started happening, and that's what divided. And then the community divided; it split, and then more people were more interested in discussing feminism versus feminism is bullshit than they were atheism versus creationists. Because we'd already fucking pretty much driven all the fucking major creationists and Christians off of YouTube any fucking way.
Well, I mean, you've read Skeptic magazine. It's not just like religion is bullshit. I mean, there's debate about like UFOs and extraterrestrials and ghosts and Bigfoot and conspiracy theories and all kinds of shit. I mean, there's plenty of things you can talk about.
In a country where 80% of people still call themselves Christians, there's still plenty of meat left on the atheism versus creationism, Christianity, whatever bone. It's just that people change their fascination primarily because the atheist community split over this issue.
I think it's just a generational thing. The generation that came after this new atheism movement is more aligned with social justice. That's their movement. That's what they want.
Yeah, I want to kick them all down the fucking stairs.
With a little science thrown in here and there, with Rebecca Watson, who vlogs mostly about science. Even when Thunderfoot chooses the right opponents, he still gets it wrong. I'm not a fan of Anita Sarkeesian myself. I think she's a single-minded moral fanatic with a one-note worldview.
Pornographic adolescent boy fantasies.
No, she's awesome.
I hear she likes to play tabletop games.
I hear that too.
Choose your own patriarchal adventure.
I hear she gets mad if you take a picture of her doing it though.
Power fantasy.
Most of her videos involve banal feminism 101 type critiques of video games.
Actually, I forgot about this. I went to a store the other day, and I parked next to a car that had a feminist frequency bumper sticker on it.
Oh,
no
shit.
fucking lie.
That's fucking gross.
Yeah, I'm like,
you
really?
live in Seattle when?
Yeah, surprised.
Hope you keyed the car.
An art form that she basically disdains, and seems to view only as an opportunity for her to exercise her repetitive, tiresome style of generic feminist nitpicking.
Whatever, she's one of the most successful one of you fucking guys.
Yet the central argument for videos is that video games often contain lazy and sexist writing that excludes women from an important area of cultural life. This seems to me obviously true, regardless of Anita's tedious treatment of the subject,
it's not.
or her questionable
You're stupid.
crowdfunding practices. But look how Thunderfoot responds when faced with Anita's totally obvious and banal evidence that men who make video games like to look at women's butts.
Most women know that they have wider hips than men because that's where the babies come out. It's that whole birthing canal thing.
His response is essentially to say, "Nuh-uh, this is just a scientific objective representation of female anatomy. Men don't like to look at women's butts. Resident Evil 2 is just a scientific documentary about the skeletal anatomy of the female woman." And
no. That's so fucking dumb. I can't believe you just fucking said that shit. So first of all...
So we have a total straw man.
What he was saying is that if these women are depicted as having wider hips, it's because women do have wider hips. Obviously, the characters that they show in these games are like a form of hyper reality in a way, because obviously most women are not fucking walking around looking like supermodels, and most men are not walking around like chiseled fucking gods.
Oh no, dude! Gears of War is supposed to be real. Guys are supposed to have biceps that are like 38 inches.
Not to mention, you know, people have gone out and found a shit ton of games where you can see pretty good, clear views of male butts in fucking tight pants. It's not because people are sitting there ogling fucking male butts, or maybe they are, but who gives a shit? And also, I don't care if anyone is ogling a fucking butt. It's fine.
Especially a digital butt.
Yeah, we're fucking sexual beings. That's what we're fucking here for.
When we went to Europe and we went to the museums with the naked statues, TJ was taking pictures of only the asses.
It was fun. I mean, like, if Anita Sarkeesian was back around in those times, she'd be like, this statue is giving unrealistic body image. And, of course, they'd have just hit her in the head with a rock, which is probably the rational fucking thing to do. Whatever.
Here I was about to
My
accuse
two
Anita
rocks
of stating the
banging into
obvious,
each other. What are you
as if
talking
we need
about?
a pop culture critic to reveal the shocking evidence that men like looking at lady butts.
What is wrong with men liking looking at lady butts? There's nothing wrong with it.
Jeez.
This is him being creative.
He's being funny.
Yeah,
anyway,
dude.
I think people are getting bored with this, so next.
Nexter.
I think TJ just doesn't want to watch
Why are we?
it.
All right, well, go ahead then.
No,
We can watch the whole fucking 20-minute fucking
Is it?
thing. It's 10 minutes, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah.
I think we've responded to it enough. Perv TJ, because I like butts? Who the fuck doesn't like butts?